Hello my dear children. So what you see over here is not at all a small deal, and I am going to prove you why it's not a small deal. So let's have a deeper look. Over here it's written it's a girl, so probably it's something related to pregnancy because you can see kids all over around here, right? And we go ahead, we see something is written, and here she is, the lovely Louie. That's how you pronounce it. And I see that's a baby. But why is she celebrated way too much? The answer to the question lies up over here. Meet Louie, the world's first test tube arrival super babe out there. And you know what? It was not at all a small deal in the year 1978, where no one thought something like this was actually possible. You just imagine a sperm and an egg put in the laboratory condition was able to make a whole human being. Isn't that a big deal, my dear children? And it was the big deal at that particular time also, which is why it was the headline of all the newspapers out there, and not just the newspapers, it was there in the televisions and all around. And now we are here discussing about this as well. So that's why it's a very big deal, and it was all possible because of something that is known as IVF. And who made it possible? There were so many people around it, but I have a picture of two of them. One is Professor Robert Edwards and the other one is Professor Patrick Steptoe, who made all these things partially possible. Obviously, there are so many people behind it. And here is the little Louie out there. And you know how she looks now? This is how she looks now. Not the baby. This is her after so many years, my dear children. These are the lovely, lucky parents who had her. And now Louie also have two other children. Can you believe it? And she didn't have it through IVF. It was through natural conception, my dear children. But this is all very, very crazy. It sounds so crazy to me, so unbelievable, and I'm pretty sure that with time you also probably will be at this particular position of Professor Roberts and Patrick, my dear children. You also would be able to achieve big things out there with the amount of knowledge you guys are having as of now. And I hope you would love this lecture, because over here I am going to show you a lot of things, a lot of new things probably which might not be there in your regular school. Okay, so be there, listen to me carefully, and let's have a very fun class. Before going ahead, first of all, I want to thank all my lovely children out there from the bottom of my heart who came back again with the same spirit, with the same consistency, and gave me the answer for all the homework questions out there. This is the best part of what do you call the videos, my dear children, to be able to make you understand things, to be able to see that you guys are understanding and putting down your answer, to be able to see that you guys are appreciating the class. It's not a small thing for a teacher like me who is taking an online session. I'm not able to see you in real. It's all through cameras, right? And then when we get a lot of love, it's not at all a small deal. So thank you. First of all, here we have Sagar, who gave me the homework answer and also said that your teaching is very nice, ma'am. Thank you so much, Sagar. We have Sinchana out there who gave me the homework one question's answer, that is the first milk after pregnancy is known as colostrum. Thank you for giving that precise big answer out there. It's so good to see you participate. And she also gave me the answer for some other question as well, for which the answer was WHO. So kudos to you, Sinchana. We could not put it up here, but I saw that. And now we have Prajwal, who put down the answer for homework 1, the 2 and 4, all of it with the same consistency. Kudos to you. Thank you so much for watching the entire video and participating really well and putting down your answers over here. And we also have a new person, Colors and Cards, who gave me the answer for the same question, that is homework number 1, colostrum. Kudos to you as well. I would love to know your name. If at all you can, put it down in the comment section. Okay. And apart from that, I got some sweet comments out there. One was from Kodanda Reddy. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. So she said, or he or she, I do not know, but I am assuming it's a she. You are sharing very useful content and thought the awareness among the people. Thank you. Thank you so much. And the loveliest part is that she said that, ma'am, I am from first PUC, but you're explaining well. I could understand everything clearly. And that means the world to me. So the same goes with Slim Shady also said that I'm the best teacher. I do not know whether I'm the best teacher or not, but you guys are the best students out there. You are doing a wonderful job, and I'm pretty sure, guys, that you are going to lead the tribe this year. Okay, so make sure you're doing that. And what are the answers for the homework question that I gave? The first question says that what do you call the first milk from the mother which is rich in antibodies? So you know what, babies when they're born, they do not have any antibodies out there, so anything comes in, they will get infected. They're so weak, which is why we say that babies cannot be taken outside and all. Okay, so it's the mother who takes care of the baby by providing the milk. Which milk? The milk which is rich in antibodies. What antibodies? Antibody A. You are going to study this in the next chapter, that is human health and diseases, my dear children. But yeah, the colostrum, the first milk which is yellowish in color, it is rich in what? Antibody A, and you have to remember it. Okay. Now, going ahead with the next question, according to whom reproductive health means total well-being in all aspects of reproduction. So, reproductive health does not mean just the reproduction, oh that is okay, then it's fine, okay, the baby is born, very good. It's not like that. You should be worried about all the aspects of it, the mental health of the mother, the postnatal care, the prenatal care, everything. And who said that reproductive health means all of this? It was WHO, World Health Organization, and this was my question to you. I said that you have to open your NCERT and find the answer for this, and my dear children were able to find it. I'm so glad and so proud. Okay, thank you so much. It was there in the first paragraph itself. The answer is World Health Organization. They were the ones who said this. Now going ahead with the third question, what is the function of copper T? For this question I didn't get the answer. I don't know why. Didn't you understand the concept? So whenever you do not give me answer for a homework question, I am in a thought that probably they might have not understood the concept properly. So if at all it's like that, please let me know. Or if at all you have understanding the concepts, what do you have to do? You have to give me the answer for all the questions out there, because I won't ask you anything out of syllabus. I will ask you questions with what I have taught you. Okay, so please make sure you're trying to answer. So what is the function of copper T? I told you copper T has a toxic love for sperm, and toxic love means it won't be good, right? So what does it do? It says that sperm, you cannot move anywhere away from me. So it suppresses the sperm's motility. The sperm would not be able to move around, and if it is not able to move, do you think it can go and fuse with the ovum? No. That's how fertilization is prevented with the help of copper T. And one more thing copper T does is that it suppresses the fertilizing capacity also. The sperm is very good in fertilizing, okay, but then it says that you cannot do fertilization. I am going to do some jadoo tona on you, and now you won't be able to fertilize as well. So obviously fertilization is not happening, my dear children. Do you think there will be pregnancy? No. So this is how copper T works. So it doesn't check mutation, nothing like that. Okay, it suppresses sperm motility. It does not do anything with ovulation also. It does not stop the sperm entry. There is another IUD. Which is your question number 1 or homework number 1 question of the day. You have to answer like this. What is that IUD or intrauterine device that does not allow the sperms to even enter the uterus? What is that IUD? That is your question, homework number 1. Everyone who have heard me has to give me the answer. I'll be really happy. Make sure you're not getting confused and getting the answer correct. Okay, now homework question 4's answer. Use of which of the following contraceptive device has increased in recent years due to its additional benefit of protecting the user from contracting STIs and AIDS? That means this particular contraceptive device will protect the user from getting pregnant. That is there. Apart from that, basically it will protect from contracting, from getting sexually transmitted infection as well. That means double goodness is there. What is that particular thing which is good at it? It is none other than what? Condom. Because when you are using condom, it covers the penis, my dear children. So none of the the fluids, genital fluids does not get exchanged. And STI, sexually transmitted infections, are caused because of what? This fluids being exchanged. So if it all is not exchanged, it's all good. Okay. So IUDs, vasectomy and coitus interruptus are not the answer. It's just condom, and who all got it correct? Kudos to you. And from this point onwards, we are going to study what's there in there today for us, right? And as I said, I promised from my end, this chapter is going to be super interesting. We are going to finish this chapter off. The first part of it is already there. If you have not watched it, go watch it. So today we are going to talk about medical termination of pregnancy, assisted reproductive technologies, and sexually transmitted diseases, all of it which are equally important. Very fun lecture. Okay, and remember, this chapter is not to be learned just for the marks that you see over here. For KCET you will get 3 marks, for PUC you will get 6 marks, but in your life you will get live lessons if you listen to me carefully, because you all are in what? Me, you, we are all adults now, we are all big children now. Okay, I am also child only, consider me as a child, I am not even 30 now. Okay, so over here we all are children, right? We all are children, and we should know what is something that we can do and what is that something we should not do, the difference. Okay, so I am going to make you understand that, and if at all you want the notes, what you have to do? You have to join the WhatsApp channel as well. Now my dear children, if at all you want to be here, what you have to do? You have to stay consistent, you have to give the answer, you have to listen to the whole lecture as well. Then only we can reach here. The other kids who were there the previous year, my dear, starting from Prajwal and everyone out there, we could beat them. So everyone were hard workers and smart workers, and they were with us throughout the journey. So make sure you are also there. Okay, and now going ahead with the first topic of the day, that is medical termination of pregnancy. What exactly does it mean? The first question that comes in, what do you mean by medical termination of pregnancy? We'll go question by question. So medical termination of pregnancy means voluntary termination of pregnancy. What is it, ma'am? You're saying the same thing again and again. So what do you mean by termination? You're ending something up. And what are you ending over here? Pregnancy. How are you ending over here? By your own will. It's not someone who has said that, hey, you have to do this. It's voluntary. Your own will, by your own will, you are terminating the pregnancy before the 9 months are completed, before the full term. This same thing is also known as induced abortion, because abortion means it is happening naturally. Induced means you're making it happen. That is why it is known as induced abortion. So my dear children, it sounds very bad, right? But is it legal in India? Yes, it is legal in India. In which year was it legalized in India, my dear children? In the year 1971. Please remember this particular year, very, very important. In the year 1971, MTP was legalized in India, but under certain very strict condition. Okay, that is, it can be only done when it is risk to mother's life, as in the mother has some physical or mental health injury, my dear children, a health issue, my dear children, then only one can do this. Or if the child, the unborn child which is there, it has some severe physical or mental abnormalities which is beyond repair, in that case also someone can undergo what? MTP. So these were the two things set up down by the government. They said that in this case it is legal to undergo what? MTP, that is medical termination of pregnancy. Now one more thing is given in your NCERT, and that is you can also undergo also undergo MTP when it is what? When someone basically has sexual activity being done but without contraceptive. Isn't that a bad thing? Obviously it is. And that's when obviously you do not have any choice. If you do not want to continue with pregnancy, the only thing that you can do is what? You can undergo MTP. But is it a good thing to do? No. So government says under these two conditions it is actually good. This thing, if it is if it was an unprotected sex, my dear children, it was because of your fault. It was you who was not responsible for this. Okay, which is why it is not preferable to do MTP in this condition, but still people do it anyways. Okay, now going ahead, it can be also done if it was a failure of contraceptive. For example, a contraceptive which was supposed to work didn't work. In that case also MTPs can be done. It is being done. And also in the case of what? Rapes. That is something that obviously no one wants. In that particular case also, if at all no one wants to continue with pregnancy, in that case also MTP can be performed. But if you are asked for 2 points, please write these 2 points which are being mentioned at the top. Okay, now going ahead, is it safe? When you talk about MTP, I don't think it's safe, right? Is it actually safe? So it is considered to be relatively safe up to 3 months of pregnancy. When a woman is 3 months pregnant, my dear children, it's considered to be relatively safe. That means comparatively safer option. 3 months means how many weeks? In 1 month you have 4 weeks. 3 months, 3 into 4, 12 weeks are there. So up to 12 weeks of pregnancy, or you also call it as first trimester, or you also call it as 3 months, it is considered to be relatively safe. Ma'am, after that, my dear children, in the second trimester also MTP can be performed, but it is considered to be riskier. And what do you mean by second trimester? How many months have been done? So first trimester means first 3 months. Second trimester means second 3 months. 3 plus 3, 6 months. 6 months, my dear children. How many weeks? 6 into 4. In every month there is 4 weeks, right? 6 into 4. How many weeks? 24 weeks. So 6 months or 24 weeks also MTP is performed, but it is much more riskier. So if at all you are asked until how many weeks MTP can be performed, your answer would be what? 24 weeks or 6 months. Okay, until how many months is it safe? Only until first trimester or the first 3 months or the 12 weeks. Until that particular time it is safe. Being safe and risky is different thing, and until what time it can be actually done is different thing. So until it can be done, it's 6 months, 24 weeks. Until what time is it safe? 3 months, 12 weeks. Okay, do people misuse it? The answer is a big yes. How do they misuse it? So in the previous session I spoke about amniocentesis. I showed you the video and all, how the fluid is being taken out, how the cell is being checked for whether to understand the child is a girl child or a boy child. Once they understand the child is a girl child, what do they do? They kill the child. What do you call this? Female feticide. So yes, people misuse it. Misuse MTP. They get to know the child is female, let's do MTP. That is how it was done. Okay, and not just that. The other people, the very cruel people out there, they started making money out of this, because they know that, for example, children like you who are students, if you undergo some sexual act and now you are pregnant, you will be obviously scared to tell it to your parents, right? So what you will do? You will directly go to some doctors out there whom you think that probably could save you in this condition. But what happens is that they might be unqualified, my dear children. They could ask you for money, they could take your money, and it could be really, really fatal for you, because they would not be registered doctors out there. They are unqualified for that. So please understand one very important thing right now. That is, it's always good to say no. It is always good to say no. I know your age. Okay, things can happen. But make sure, if at all it's happening, please use protection at least. Okay, the first thing is say no. If at all it's happening, please use protection. Otherwise, my dear children, there are chances that you might land up in places you would never want to. So why to have that condition? And if at all you can, please talk to your parents and your friends about it. They won't kill you. Trust me. Okay, so please do that. And now going ahead with what if they misuse? What are the steps being taken by the government to make things more stricter? So government actually put down an act which is known as Medical Termination of Pregnancy Amendment Act. In what year? In the year 2017. Remember, do not get confused with two years. 1971 it was legalized. 2017 an act was put down, that is Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act. What was the aim of this particular act? To reduce illegal abortion, okay, and to reduce the number of mothers who were dying, the maternal mortality, because mothers were dying because these unqualified cocks were doing all this foolish stuff. That's why. So reduce illegal abortion and also to reduce maternal mortality, my dear children. That was the aim. So according to that, my dear children, it was made a lot more stricter. For example, if you go for abortion, if at all it's 12 weeks, that is the first trimester, you need an approval from at least one registered medical practitioner out there. If at all it's 12 to 24 weeks, you will need approval from 2 registered medical practitioners out there. Apart from that, you cannot undergo what? MTP. So that is one major thing that was put down by the government's end. Okay, so please remember that. I hope all the questions about MTP, since I put it in question format, it is easy for you to remember. And children, if at all you are liking this video, liking this way of explanation, what do you have to do? Click on the like button right now. Okay, right now you have to do that, and you have to tell me whether the class is boring or interesting or whatever is it. Okay, going ahead with a video of it. So I thought, I actually thought a trillion times whether I should be putting a video like this over here, but then I thought it's very useful for you. You should be knowing this. You are all of science background, which is why you're watching my video, I suppose. Yes, so we should be aware about what is happening and what could happen later on. And you can make your friends also being aware of this who are not of science background. So my dear children, there are multiple ways for MTPs. Depending on the growth of the child, it is different. So the first way is basically where you mess around the level of progesterone in the human's body, in the female's body. So progesterone is the one that maintains the endometrium lining, right? So on this endometrium lining, my dear children, placenta will be formed and things like that will happen. Sorry. If at all this endometrium is not there, then everything will fall off. So the first thing is that level of progesterone is made to be low, and the next thing, some things are being induced as that contraction would be happening, and all of it would be shedding down, including the unborn child also. So this is the first method being put down. I'm going to show you a video of it. It's an animated video, and the videos are being taken from Ecclesia Muscogee. Please watch the whole video. The topic name is abortion procedures, first, second and third trimester. If at all you have the strength, the will to watch it. Okay. So over here I am going to show you this video. We will lower down the volume because we do not need it. So this is how it goes. So over here, first of all, the medicine is given to mess up with the progesterone level, and further one more thing is given such that the contraction would be happening where the unborn child along with the endometrium would be flooding down. This happens during the initial phases of pregnancy. You cannot do it later on. Then you have the next method, which is DNC method, where you suck the child out of it. What do you call the whole body? Again, this can be done only up to a few months, and then it cannot be performed. Some other procedures are being done which is even more scarier. Okay, so over here you have that thing. Just let me lower down the voice. Over here you have a scapula being inserted in the vagina, and then slowly a catheter is being put down, and with that what do? You'd be sucked. It would be sucked. Okay, it's not like it would be coming like this, my dear children, but yes, the parts of the baby would be coming out, and there might be certain parts still left out there. So with something else, scraper, you put it down, because if at all it remains, it can lead to infection and again dangerous diseases out there. So this is how it's done, and I'm pretty sure no one who watched this is liking it. Is there anyone who's liking this? I don't like it, to be very honest, but this is how it is done, and this was the whole motive behind putting this video also, to not like it, to not undergo, or to not reach to a position where you have to undergo all these things. So please understand the importance of this, and please avoid all the things that you can actually avoid, my dear children. So that was about MTP, medical termination of pregnancy. Okay, and that's how the topic is over, completed. And I have a homework question for you, that is, when was MTP actually legalized? 2017, 1951, 1971, 2051. What is your answer? So 2051 has not even reached. Okay, so you can easily exclude this option, but other options are still there. So please make sure you put down the correct answer. And how do you put it? This is question number 2, because I already gave question number 1 there, right? So this is question number 2, homework question number 2. Please put it down in the comment section. And I told you, if at all you think that you are learning something new out there, do not forget to hit the like button, and also let me know in the comment section. Now we are going ahead with the next topic of the day, which is sexually transmitted diseases. Okay, what is the exact meaning of sexually transmitted diseases? So infectious or diseases which are transmitted through sexual intercourse. Okay, when two people have sex, my dear children, this particular point of time, whatever infections or diseases can be transmitted, they are collectively known as what? Sexually transmitted infections, or you also call it as STIs, or you also call it as venereal diseases, or you also call it as reproductive tract infections. 3 names for one particular thing. What is it? Sexually transmitted infections, easy, no? Venereal diseases, because it includes the venereal organs, and now reproductive tract infection, because your reproductive tract might be infected. Okay, reproductive tract infection. So how it is caused? It is usually caused during what? Infections caused due to sexual intercourse, my dear children. Now the next question that comes up is, do you have example? No, I do not have example. I have examples, my dear children. There are so many diseases out there which is given in your NCERT, and this is something that you have to remember as well. Starting with the first one, we have gonorrhea. Then we have syphilis. Then we have chlamydia. Then we have genital warts. Then we have trichomoniasis. We have genital herpes. We have hepatitis B. We have HIV/AIDS. How do you remember it? You have to remember it like this only: gonorrhea, syphilis, chlamydia, genital warts, trichomoniasis, genital herpes, hepatitis B, HIV/AIDS. You have 8 of the diseases, my dear children, which are sexually transmitted infections. Please remember, there are different forms of hepatitis. Not all of them are sexually transmitted. Same thing goes for herpes as well. Okay. Now, one very important thing, which is the most dangerous one among them? HIV/AIDS. Okay. AIDS is the name of the disease. HIV is the name of the virus that causes it. Human immunodeficiency virus, HIV. Okay. Now, one very important thing. Out of them, what all do you think are curable? Something that can be gone to a doctor and you get medicine and then can be cured. Which of them do you think are curable? What is the answer for this question? Are they curable? The thing is, only the things that you see which are being cut down are the ones which are curable. If at all you are someone who have got genital herpes, if at all you are someone who got hepatitis B or HIV AIDS, my dear children, please understand it is not going to be curable. Okay, it's not curable. The symptoms can be controlled, but it will be still there. Okay, and being a very good citizen of this human world, my dear children, do you think we should keep the people away from us who are having HIV, AIDS and stuff like that? No. Why? Because they are also human beings, and also because of one more very, very important thing, that is, it's no one's fault. Okay, it's no one's fault. Not necessarily. One very important thing that I want to tell is, when you say sexually transmitted diseases, I already told you, I gave you the definition as well, that it is usually spread through what? The sexual contact. But there are some diseases which are not spread through just sexual contact. There are some other methods of transfer as well. And that is true for what? HIV, AIDS as well as hepatitis B. And I am going to talk about that. But before that, please remember these three names. How can you remember it? All of it has H in it. Genital herpes, hepatitis B and also HIV AIDS. Everything has an H in it. Okay, please remember it in that way. It's a very important question. Now, I told you there are some other ways. Can they be spread only through sexual contact? The answer is no. HIV and hepatitis B can also be spread by sharing needles. How do you share needles, my dear children? Probably you go to a hospital, the hospital is not that good. There probably they might be using the same needle. A person who had HIV, we put the needle on that, and then a person who do not have it, now that person has it. As simple as that. Because HIV, hepatitis B can be spread through the other body fluids as well, my dear children. Through surgical instruments which are being used in hospital. Through infected blood transfusion. Again, for example, if I have a disease which needs blood transfusion regularly, in that case I would do that. Right? But again, if the hospital is not good, they might not check what kind of blood it is, from whom you have got that blood, and again I have a chance of getting the disease like that. So it is not always the person's fault, and which is why we should not be keeping anyone away from us. It's just that they are also human being. Make sure you are taking your precautions, that's all. But you should not be hating someone for having a disease. I hope you have understood that, right? And I hope all my children are going to listen to me carefully about that. Now, and also it can be transferred from mother to fetus also. HIV AIDS can be spread from the mother to the child as well, if at all the blood is being mixed. If the blood of the mother and the child is being mixed, my dear children, there are chances the fetus could also have HIV AIDS. Okay, well, now there are so many medicines and things being used up to prevent all of it, but there are chances, so you should not be ignoring it. Okay, so this is how you should understand that HIV AIDS and hepatitis B, which are categorized as STIs, are not just spread through sexual contact but can be spread through other methods, and you have to be really careful. Here by sharing needles, I said it's not just the hospitals. I'm telling you, there are people who take drugs, intravenous drugs out there with the form of injections. If you and your friends are having drug party out there, make sure you are remembering that there are so many diseases that are going to haunt you. So please avoid all of it. Okay, so that is about it. And now, do they have recognizable symptoms? These diseases, no? Do they have recognizable symptoms? So the early signs actually includes itching, discharge as in there might be some fluid discharge out there, pain, swelling in what? The genital region. Itching, discharge, pain or swelling in what? Genital region, where you have your reproductive system and things like that. Females, if you see, they are mostly maybe asymptomatic. That means there are chances that they might not show the symptoms, leading to what? Late detection. Okay, so the early signs, if at all they are there, it will be this itching, discharge and pain and swelling. And females, if you usually see, they are mostly asymptomatic, they do not show any symptoms. Later on, when it is later on what happens? Later on big diseases comes in. That is pelvic inflammatory disease. Pelvic is this region below your waist, no? This region that comes in is known as pelvic region. So there you will be having inflammation. So pelvic inflammatory diseases would be coming in. Abortions can happen. Stillbirths can also happen. Stillbirth means baby is born born, but a dead baby is being born. Ectopic pregnancy, what do you mean by that? Basically, because of some problem in the reproductive tract, my dear children, the embryo which is there, it won't be able to move down to the uterus to fully grow. Instead, it will be growing in the fallopian tube or some other place itself. This is known as ectopic pregnancy. Pregnancy at some other position. And do you think here it can happen? No, it will be very fatal for the child as well as the mother. So that can happen as a result of what? STDs, because your reproductive tract is something that is being hampered. So over here, since the transport is not happening, this can take place. Infertility can be caused, and also reproductive tract cancer can also occur. For example, cervical cancer, anything of that can also occur. Okay, what are the diseases? Pelvic inflammatory disease, abortion. So you do not have to muck things up, you have to understand and you will remember it better. If you understand this picture, if you understood what I told you, you will remember these things in a better way. So pelvic inflammatory disease, abortion, stillbirth, ectopic pregnancy, infertility, and also reproductive tract cancer. Okay, and all the other things, symptoms, I already told you, the early symptoms as well as the females can be asymptomatic as well. Cool. So that's about it, my dear children. So we'll have a quick recap. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, sexually transmitted infection. I hope you understood what does it mean. The infections that you can get through sexual intercourse, you can call it venereal disease, and also reproductive tract infections. Then these are the diseases: gonorrhea, syphilis, chlamydia, genital warts, trichomoniasis, genital herpes, and hepatitis B, and also HIV/AIDS. If you have got a trick to learn this, put it down in the comment section. It would help the others. Okay, 3 of them are not curable. That is genital herpes, hepatitis B, and HIV/AIDS. All of it has an H in it. Remember in that way. And can this be spread to other sources? Yes, by sharing needles, surgical instruments, infected blood transfusion, and also from mother to the fetus. Okay, do they have recognizable symptoms? We just discussed this, right? And now, can we prevent it? Yes, we can. Avoid unknown or multiple partners out there. So please do not have multiple girlfriends or multiple boyfriends, my dear children. Use condoms during intercourse, very, very important. Seek medical help for early detection and complete treatment so that you can prevent it from getting even worse. So make sure you are doing this. These 3 points are very important. In PU2 it is usually asked, so that you can at least learn. By learning this, at least you will get to know the points. No, that's why probably they ask it usually. So avoid unknown multiple partners. Use condoms, and also seek. Why condoms? Because I told you it is the best one to prevent both sexually transmitted diseases as well as to prevent conception. Okay, so seek medical help for early detection and complete treatment. I have got a cute snip out there, so please see that as well. Safer. Okay, so first thing is what? Limit the partners. It's not too many partners, not inky, pinky, punky. We do not want them here. Please get yourself tested if at all you are unsure. Talk to your partners. Okay, that I have this particular disease, please stay away from me. It's going to be really helpful. If at all you love people, you have to be honest with them. And avoid drugs and alcohol. Why? Because drugs can lead to problems, and also alcohol can lead you to other problems. Please educate yourself about things, and I am trying to do my best to educate you guys about it. Do that. Okay, that's all. Now the question from this segment comes in, that is, which of the following STDs cannot be cured? And it's your chance to tell me the answer. Gonorrhea, syphilis, chlamydia, genital herpes. Which is the one that cannot be cured? If you heard me correctly, you will give me the answer as well. So give me the answer. I'm waiting for the answer. Please answer like this. Homework question number 3. This is the answer. And now we are going to the last part of the chapter, that is assisted reproductive technologies. And before I go ahead, what do you have to do? Click on the like button. Okay, why do I have to remind you? Because the number of likes are not enough for me to get motivated. So you have to do it. Okay, if at all you are liking the video, if at all you are not liking, don't do it. Okay. Now the first thing that we have is, why art? This is an art. Assisted reproductive technologies. Why art? Because there is too much amount of infertility, my dear children. And what do you exactly mean by the term infertility? Infertility means inability to conceive despite of unprotected sexual cohabitation. 2 people having sex without contraceptives for a very long time, my dear children, still they are not able to conceive. That means there is what? An inability of conceiving. Okay, they are infertile. Cause can be multiple. Okay, physical, congenital, Physical as in you have some physical issues in the body. Congenital as in is genetic. There are some undergoing diseases, for example sexually transmitted diseases, you are using some drugs, or it is immunological, sometimes your own body cells kills your own body cells, or is it psychological problem. There can be multiple reasons why you can be infertile. And the misconception around it is women are often blamed, but male infertility is equally common. So it's not to make the gender equality thing come over here, but this is given in your NCERT, you have to remember it. And also to understand very important thing, if at all you hear someone says that is the woman, that she has done everything wrong, it's not like that. Okay, so I'll tell you one very important thing that I have had in my life, nothing related to infertility as in, but when I was doing my MSc postgrad, okay, at that particular time we had to do an internship, and I did an internship in an IVF clinic, okay, and it was the most fun experience. My friend was there in the OT operation theatre, and she actually got dizzy and she fell down seeing what all was happening out there. So I'm not here to tell you it was scary, but it was so fun to actually getting to know about a lot of things, and I just want to share everything that I know from there here to you guys as well, and you have to pass it down to other people out there. Okay, that's our deal. So let's get in. Over here, solution. Do we have a solution for infertility? The answer is yes. Assisted reproductive technologies used when natural conception is what? Not possible. I feel like I am giving advertisement for it, but yes, that's how it goes. So my dear children, the first one is IVF, in vitro fertilization. So IVF is not the only thing that is there in assisted reproductive technologies. Assisted reproductive technologies means what? You're assisting in what? Reproduction, my dear children, because the couples out there, they are not able to do it by themselves. So you're assisting in some ways. And one such way is what? IVF, in vitro fertilization. What do you mean by that? In vitro means basically outside the body, in the laboratory condition, whenever fertilization is happening, that is what you mean by in vitro fertilization. In vivo fertilization means it is happening inside the body. Fusion of the gametes is happening inside the body, is known as in vivo. In vitro means it is happening outside. So the egg is saying IVF and the sperm is saying for all. Okay, so fertilization occurs outside the body in a lab under conditions similar to the female reproductive system. So over here what is being done is that the females are made to hyperovulate, as in they are given injections such that usually from the ovary only one egg is released, no? But in this case, my dear children, because of hyperovulation, they will be releasing multiple eggs, and these eggs are being collected. These eggs have been collected, okay, and then they are taken up, and the best one has been chosen. And same goes with the sperms as well. So the egg and the sperm are been put down in a petri dish, and it's waited so that they can what you call fertilize naturally. If at all natural thing is not happening, there are other ways to make them fertilized. But anyways, fertilization is happening within the petri dish itself. Now, my dear children, what happens? You will give some time, okay. If the zygote, if the egg and the sperm has fused together, and what is the first thing that it forms? Egg and the sperm together when it comes, the first thing that it forms is what? The zygote. Zygote, if you know, it's single celled. It just has single cell. So ma'am, how can the maths be correct? 1 plus 1 is equals to 2, no? How can 1 plus 1 is equals to 1? Sperm plus egg is equals to something else? No, it's just one cell out there. It's just one cell, the nucleus, both of them fuses, it forms zygote. Now this zygote which is being formed, do you think it can just grow here itself? That's how the baby will be formed? No. The baby needs care from the placenta, and for that it has to get inside the woman's body. Can it go by itself? The zygote, can it move by itself? No. So what do? We take the zygote and we put it where? Inside the uterus or inside the fallopian tube. So fallopian tube is there, if you remember, and then the uterus is there. Where do you put the zygote? Zygote is put over here in the fallopian tube, my dear children, because then the zygote naturally how it goes, undergoes cleavage. You might have studied in human reproduction. I taught you. If you have not studied, go and study that. Okay, it will go undergo division and then come down slowly to the uterus, my dear children. That is how things usually happens. So zygote, if it is zygote, it has to be put in the fallopian tube. Now suppose the zygote is not single celled anymore, it has already underwent division. It has underwent division, now it has 4 cells, or let's leave 4 cells, now it has 8 cells out there, my dear children. In that case, what will happen? In that case, will you still put it in the fallopian tube? Yes, you will still put it in the fallopian tube. It's not anymore known as zygote, it will be known as an embryo. Okay, single cell is known as zygote. Beyond that, it is known as an embryo. Okay, so what do? Both the conditions, we take either the zygote or the embryo with 8 cells. 8 cells, you call the name of the cells are blastomeres. Okay, the name of the cell is known as a blastomere. So you take this 8 blastomeres embryo out there or the zygote out there, and then you are going to put it inside the fallopian tube, my dear children. Okay, so this is known as zygote intrafallopian transfer. Because you are putting inside the fallopian tube, you call this zygote intra. Intra means inside the fallopian tube transfer. So either the zygote or an embryo up to 8 blastomere is transferred in the fallopian tube. Now suppose the embryo has divided more. Now it has more cells beyond 8 blastomeres. Now can you put it in the fallopian tube? No, please do not do that. That will lead to what? Ectopic pregnancy. Pregnancy in the other places apart from the uterus. So now you have to put it in where? Inside the uterus. Inside the uterus you will be putting it. And this is known as intrauterine transfer. Go by the name. Intra as in inside, uterine as in uterus, and transfer as in transfer. You know that, right? Yes, so this is known as intrauterine transfer. If the embryo has more than 8 blastomeres, it is placed in the uterus for implantation and further development. Implantation means this particular embryo will go and get embedded in the endometrium, and then later it will form up there itself. Okay, so please understand, IVF has been done, in vitro fertilization in the laboratory condition has been done. After that, you have to do zygote transfer or embryo transfer. Either zygote transfer or embryo transfer. Zygote transfer can be done in zygote intrafallopian transfer way, where you put the zygote in the fallopian tube, or you call the same thing. Okay, when the embryo is also put, embryo up to 8 blastomeres is put it in the fallopian tube, you put it in the same category of ZIFT only, zygote intrafallopian transfer. Don't think that only zygotes have been put up. Even embryo up to 8 blastomeres can be put up in this particular condition. Okay, or this particular thing, method. Now, intrauterine transfer means you are putting inside the uterus specifically. What are we putting? Embryo which is more than 8 blastomeres, which has more than 8 blastomeres, we are going to put it in the uterus. Okay, done. This is the first method. So you have IVF. After IVF, you got the zygote or the embryo. If you're transferring the embryo, you call it embryo transfer. If you're transferring the zygote, you have to call it zygote transfer. Either way, you have two methods: ZIFT, zygote intrafallopian transfer, and also intrauterine transfer. Now it can be done using gametes from either couple, or you can take it from the donors as well. So from donors you can take the gametes. If it also suppose A and B person, okay, both of them are married and they have perfectly okay, what do you call, gametes, but somehow fertilization is not happening, then we can take their gametes itself. But they do not they are not producing good gametes, then we take someone else's gametes and then fuse it and put it in their body, if they have a good body which can take up the pregnancy. Okay, so this is the first thing, or the first method in art. Now the next thing that we have is GIFT, gamete intrafallopian transfer. So over here, as the name suggests, you are transferring not the zygote, not the embryo, you are giving the gamete itself, my dear children. So over here, what exactly happens? Suppose there are two people, Pinky and Ponky. This is Pinky and this is Ponky. Okay, so Pinky has great gametes, and also her uterus is also fine. Okay, but Ponky, the sad thing about Ponky is that the gametes are not good, bad gametes. That means ovum is not being produced, or probably some problem is there, but uterus is perfect. Okay, Ponky's uterus is perfect, and Ponky want to conceive, but Ponky does not have gametes. Then her friend Pinky will be gifting her what? The gamete. That is the gift. Gamete intrafallopian transfer. So what do we do in general terms, apart from jokes, my dear children? You take the gametes from here. Okay, you take the gametes from here, and then basically you give the gamete to this particular lady. Where do you put the gametes? Where are the gametes usually present? Where is the ovum usually present? It is usually present in the fallopian tube. Does it go anywhere else? No, it's there waiting for the sperm to come. Remember always. So it's in the fallopian tube. That's why you are going to put the gamete in the fallopian tube. So if at all this question comes, when do you need gamete intrafallopian transfer? The answer is when the female who cannot produce eggs but has a functional uterus for fertilization and development, she needs the egg. Okay, and she cannot produce her own eggs, but she has a very functional uterus that says that she can conceive. In that case, we can go with gamete intrafallopian transfer. So ovum is collected from a donor and is transferred to the fallopian tube of the female, who cannot produce the egg but can have a functional uterus. So this is another method. So we have studied IVF. Under IVF, we have studied zygote intrafallopian transfer and intrauterine transfer. Now we have gamete. We gave the gametes also, gamete intrafallopian transfer. And now we are going with the next thing. So before that, there is something I want to show you. What is this? Mama, I don't understand anything. What exactly is this? So let me show you. So let's see, it's video time. Over here again I have to, okay. So this is actually human egg and I saw it. Okay, this is the video that I took from YouTube itself, but in real sense I have seen it. So this is the egg, human egg, the largest cell, my dear children, and over here there's a small thing, okay, in which you have the sperm, okay, through which you transfer the sperm. So over here, see, this is a procedure which is going to be discussed next. Okay, it is known as ICSI, intracytoplasmic sperm injection. That means intra means inside. Inside what? Cytoplasm. Inside the cytoplasm of what? The egg. What is injected? Sperm is injected. Okay, so intracytoplasmic sperm injection. When is this done? Probably when, my dear children, the sperm count is not that great, okay, or fertilization is not happening for so many reasons and not know why we want fertilization to happen. In that case, we take the sperm and we put it by ourselves only. This is known as intracytoplasmic sperm injection, and let's see it. So over here it goes. So it has the sperm, okay, there's a small tutu thing which is there, and there it goes. It has been put down and then it will be taken back, my dear children. That is how it's been done, and that is the next thing, which is ICSI, intracytoplasmic sperm injection. A single sperm is directly injected into an ovum in a lab to facilitate what? Fertilization. Okay, that is ICSI. I know that you might be confused with a lot of new things up there, but with time you will understand things better. So please trust your timings. Please take it slow. But I hope you are having fun learning these things, right? It's not usually discussed. So yeah, that is about intracytoplasmic sperm injection. It is usually done, to be honest, it is done when the sperm count is very less, or also when, what do you say, is when the sperm motility is not that great, sperm is not able to move, okay, that great. In that case also we inject it by ourselves. But according to your book, they have not mentioned any of this thing. They have just said that a single sperm is injected, and this is known as intracytoplasmic sperm injection. About low sperm count and all, they have given in the next thing, which is artificial insemination. What do you understand by that? Insemination means what? Insemination means what? A guy, what do you call, transferring the sperms out there into the vaginal cavity, or what do you call, the reproductive tract of the female. So over here in artificial insemination, semen from the husband or a healthy donor is introduced artificially into the female reproductive tract. Okay, with the help of other tools, my dear children, what happens? You are going to introduce the semen either from the partner or from the healthy donor out there. And there are different forms of artificial insemination. One such form is intrauterine insemination, where you are not putting it in the vagina, where you are not putting in the cervix, you are directly putting it inside the uterus itself. This type of insemination is known as intrauterine insemination, inside the uterus. So intrauterine transfer is different, okay, that's when you put the embryo in the uterus. So intrauterine insemination means you are putting the semen inside the uterus. Okay, so it's a specialized form of AI. AI means artificial insemination, my dear children, where sperm is directly placed in the uterus by passing the cervix. Okay, so you know, I hope you know that. So this is the uterus. Oh, this is not the uterus. This is the uterus. Okay, over here you have the cervix region. There is an opening in between, and this is the vagina. So over here, a specialized form of air where the sperm is directly placed inside the uterus by passing the cervix. So it's not here, it's been put down over here itself. The sperms are being put inside the uterus, not near the cervix, not near the vagina. Okay, to improve the chances of what? Fertilization. Because the cervix, it can be producing some certain things which can kill the sperms out there, so we do not want to take that chance. Used in cases of low sperm count, poor sperm motility, or unexplained infertility. So this is very important, and this is very confusing, because ICSI is also actually used for the same. in actual sense, but in your NCERT they have mentioned it under intrauterine insemination, which is why you have to remember it like this only. Both these cases, the same case is there, but somehow they have not mentioned it. So please remember it under intrauterine insemination. When do you need it? When there is low sperm count, when there is poor sperm motility, or there is unexplained infertility. That's when you do it, because low sperm count is there because you need 200 to 300 million sperms out there, and if it is not there, my dear children, you think insemination will take place? No, naturally it cannot take place. You take so many sperms and then you do it, then probably there are chances. Or probably the motility is not there, all the sperms are like, I will go slowly, my legs are paining, I will come late. Oh sorry, not legs, my tails are paining, I will come late. Okay, you go. Can you do that? No. So for that you need good quality sperms, and that are being taken and then have been put into the uterus. That is about intrauterine insemination. To sum this up, I'll come back again. Okay, I'll just do it really fast. So ART means assisted reproductive technologies. Under that comes IVF, in vitro fertilization, where fertilization is happening in the laboratory condition. A zygote can be formed. If a zygote is being formed, it can be put in the fallopian tube. This is known as zygote intrafallopian transfer. If the zygote transforms into embryo, embryo has 8 blastomeres, still it can be put into the fallopian tube, still it will be known as zygote intrafallopian transfer. Okay, now suppose it's more than 8 blastomeres, it cannot be put in the fallopian tube, it can be put into the uterus. It is known as intrauterine transfer in that particular case. And please make sure you can take gametes from either the parents or from the donor as well. Now suppose a person is there, they do not have any problem with the uterus or stuff like that. Fertilization is also not a problem. You just need gametes. Gametes are not there. So you do gamete intrafallopian transfer. There, where the gametes are transferred into the fallopian tube, that is why it is known as gamete intrafallopian transfer. Now next thing that you have, oh my god, okay. The next thing that we have is what? ICSI, intracytoplasmic sperm injection, where you are going to inject a sperm inside the cytoplasm of the egg, such that the fertilization can take place. In IVF, I told you, in petri dish you put, and that is how naturally it happens. Okay, suppose if it is not happening, in that case you can use ICSI also for fertilization. Okay, now AI, artificial insemination, that's when a man cannot, suppose probably has some erectile dysfunction or things like that, cannot inseminate, my dear children. In that case you have artificial insemination, where you have tools, my dear children, and one such method is intrauterine insemination, which is not just for erectile dysfunction but also where you have low sperm count, or you have less sperm motility, or there is unexplained fertility issues, my dear children. In that case also you are going to take the sperm and going to put inside the uterus of the female to increase the chances. That is known as intrauterine insemination. And with that, my dear children, we complete the whole topic. And I want to tell you one thing, apart from all this thing, there is one best way of treating infertility, and that is what? Adoption, which is again mentioned in your NCERT. So you should be open to adoption as well. There are so many people who are being, so many children who are being left out like that. Okay, so in my building also, when I was in Indore, I used to stay in Indore, Madhya Pradesh, okay, and in my building a small baby was being put down when I was so small. I was in, I think, 8th or 9th, okay, that's when we all heard some cries, and we went up and we saw that a small cute baby has been put down there. We felt so sad. Fortunately, someone adopted her and we were so happy about it later on, but the initial fact that they have kept their baby like that, it's so disturbing. And my dear children, when you grow up, probably if at all you have a chance, you can go ahead with adoption if you think that's a good option, or you can suggest to people who are looking for a baby out there. Yes, in your age group no one will look for a baby. Please don't look for a baby now. Okay, I'm talking about your cousins, your sisters, your brothers out there. So yes, now the homework question that I have is, this question should be question number 4. Yeah, the method of directly injecting a sperm into the ovum is called. Tell, what is it known as? Question number 4, homework number 4. Okay, please let me know. So, and from here on we are going to start solving some questions out there, only few questions, 2 I think. So please do it, and as I told you, we are towards the end of this chapter. We have finished this chapter. Next session would be one very important update. So this time I'm going to merge the NEET and the KCET questions, as in NEET and KCET both will be discussed in one video. I'm not going to merge the questions out there. I'll be telling you these are the NEET questions, these are the KCET questions, but that is how we are going to plan to do it. We'll see how well it is going, and then you also let us know if at all it is helping or not. Okay, you can have a comparison between both the exams. So the first question out there today is, the test tube baby program employs which one of the following techniques? The test tube baby is not, this thing we didn't discuss, right? Test tube baby means a baby which is born in the laboratory condition. So you're talking about what? IVF, my dear children. You're talking about IVF. It's not actually born in the test tube. It was made to be more catchy. That's why they made it test tube. But it is actually Petri dish where the fusion and everything took place. So the test tube baby program employs which one of the following techniques? Is it intracytoplasmic sperm injection? Is it intrauterine insemination? Is it gamete intrafallopian transfer? Is it zygote intrafallopian transfer? Your answer would be ZIFT. Your answer would be ZIFT. Why? Because this comes under IVF. Okay, understand that. Intracytoplasmic sperm injection, I told you, it's usually not preferred. Naturally the sperms would be coming and fusing. So when it's not happening naturally, that's when you do it. Okay, so your answer would be D. Next question. In case of a couple where the male is having a low sperm count, which technique will be suitable for fertilization? Intrauterine transfer, okay, and gamete intracytoplasmic fallopian transfer, artificial insemination, intracytoplasmic sperm injection. In case of a couple where the male is having a low sperm count, according to your NCERT, if you are being very specific, it's not artificial insemination, you have to go more deep. What would be it? It will be intrauterine transfer. Is it intrauterine transfer? Is it intrauterine transfer? Tell me. Let's check if the answer is intrauterine transfer. Oh, the answer is also intrauterine transfer. Baba, if you remember, can it be intrauterine transfer? This is just to make you confused, okay? Remember, it was intrauterine insemination. Intrauterine transfer is what? It is transfer of the ovum. It is transfer of the embryo. So your answer would be what? Artificial insemination. Since intrauterine insemination is not mentioned, your answer would be artificial insemination, not intracytoplasmic sperm injection, because I told you in your NCERT, low sperm count thing is mentioned under artificial insemination, under intrauterine insemination to be specific. So your answer is C. Okay. Now homework question 5 that we have for the day. In vitro fertilization is a technique that involves transfer of which one of the following into the fallopian tube? Okay, embryo only up to 2 cell stage, embryo only up to 8 cell stage, either zygote or early embryo up to 8 cell stage, or zygote only. So it is asking, in vitro fertilization is a technique that involves transfer of which one of the following into the fallopian tube. So you just have to say what is the correct way of putting things in the fallopian tube. Is it just the embryo up to 2 cell stage, or what? This is the clue, that's the maximum clue I can give you. You have to tell me the answers, and I will be waiting for the answers like this. Okay, so please do that, and if at all you have liked this video, definitely let me know and subscribe to the channel for all the updates, my dear children. And that's all. Wishing you all the best. Lots of love from Jasmine Ma'am. Bye bye. Please take care of yourselves.